Hey, welcome everybody. This is CP Cards and Dice. I don't want us to miss our favorite song. Let's get that playing so I can tidy up.
Step right up and greet the Mets. Bring your kiddies, bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life because the Mets are really sucking the ball. Knocking those home runs over the wall. These sideways time. Everybody's gonna love to be the M-E-T-S Mets of New York. Oh, the butcher and the baker and the people on the streets, where they go? To meet the Mets. Oh, they're hollering and they're cheering and they're jumping in their seats, where they go? To meet the Mets. All the fans are true to the orange and blue, so hurry up and come on down, 'cause we got ourselves a ball from the Mets of New York town.
I wonder if it's easier to read when they're not in a little baggie. A certain angle, they're easy to read. Not at that angle. Let's try to get this a little bit closer. Let's see if I can get this easier to read. Let me lose the top ones. That's really bad right here. You can hardly see what that says. Can't read that at all. So if we were to roll on that, that would not work. Let's try the other side. Let's see if we can. Aha! I think I got it. All right. I think I figured it out. Welcome to the late show. Tabletop baseball after hours with your host CP Cards and Dice. And we're replaying the 87 Mets using Apba Basic, and this is game 75. The Mets are 46-28. They're 2.5 games ahead of the St. Louis Cardinals, who actually won the division in 1987 by 3 games over the Mets. So the Mets are, doing better than they did back then. And now we just got Doc Gooden back. He was out in rehab for 2 months. So, and I've talked about how this is the era of the mini dynasty, the mini Met dynasty, and those teams from 1984-ish, 1985 to about 91. Okay, where the Mets are competitive every single year. Look at the stats. Look at the data. The Mets are competitive every single year from that point on, from about the 84 on. So that's, I call it the mini Mets dynasty, right? Have a little crowd noise in the back. You can't have that. You can't be without that when you're streaming a game. And we're about to start. It's going to be Gooden, Doc Gooden. He's a BXZ going against Coleman. And we're going to run everything off of paper and pencil. It's going to go very fast because of that. I got that right here. Let's get this. I didn't write anybody in, but that's okay because I'm going to write them in as we go. And I'll tell you what the lineups are going to be right off of the screen. Now let's go to a game. Let's go to a scheduled game. We're using the Stratomatic. There he is. All right. Manual. Going to play. All right. And the lineup for the Cards is going to be Coleman, Smith, Herr, Clark, and McGee. Then it's going to be Pendleton, Ford, and Pena. And then it's Mathews, the pitcher. Mathews is a C pitcher. Got no letters after his name. Coleman is in left field. Smith is a shortstop. Tommy Herr is a second baseman, followed by the first baseman, Clark. Then McGee is in center field. Pendleton, third baseman. Ford in right. Pena the catcher. And Mathews is the pitcher. So let's get started. Apba plays very, very quickly. Going to see how we can fit this in. It's not going to be easy to do. You know what? I'll fit it in right here. No. We're going to have to pull the bottom team out. And there goes. Going to roll. All right, Coleman versus Gooden. Gooden is a BXZ, and that's a 21 off Coleman. That's popped up to the left side. In left field, hold on a second. Play ball. We are at Shea. For some reason, they have the picture of, well, that is Shea. Yeah, that's Shea. Left field is McReynolds, makes the catch, one up, one down. So Coleman flies out, and it's the Wiz, 52, strike three. And Gooden blows a fastball by Ozzie Smith. Next is Tommy Herr, 51, and that's a ground ball and through the left side for a base hit. So it's a single for Herr. And Herr is a fast ball player, but Apba makes the base stealing automatic. It tells you when he's going to steal a base, and he's not doing it this time around. Clark, 44, and that's line base hit. That's going to send Herr to third. Getting in on a hop is the center fielder, Wilson. With two outs, runners on first and third. Now, this is, I believe, the third start for Gooden since he's returned. I believe it's the third one. I played the first one back, and now this is the third one. I think I missed one in between. McGee. That's a 34. That's flat out center field. On the run is Wilson, and he gets there, and that retires the side. So it's going to be no runs on two hits. Cards and Mets. All right, for the Mets now, let's look quickly at the Mets lineup. Mets lineup is going to be Wilson, Backman, Hernandez, Carter, and McReynolds. Followed by Mazzilli, Johnson, Santana. And then it's going to be Doc Gooden. All right, so Wilson is this, let's see. Wilson is the center field. Second base for Backman. First baseman Hernandez. Catcher is Carter. Left fielder is McReynolds. Right fielder is Mazzilli. He's relieving Strawberry, who's out for a few games. Third baseman is Johnson. Shortstop is Santana. And the pitcher is Doc Gooden. We're playing in Queens, New York. Flushing, Queens. And that was McGee that made the last out. So now it's Mathews versus Wilson. Here's the pitch to Wilson. It's a 64. That's a strikeout. One up, one down. Next is Mathews. 33. That's a line base hit to left for Backman. Backman's on at first with a single, a one-out single. Next is Keith Hernandez. We're going to try for the hit and run. 31, a 9. And I do not think that's a ground ball to third base. But there's only one play, and that's the first. And it's Gary Carter, runner on second, 2 outs. 31, ball 4. First and second, 2 outs. Kevin McReynolds. Pitch from Mathews. Mathews a lefty. 42, and that's a strikeout. That retires the side. So it's no runs and 1 hit. We'll go to the top of the second. I have to do this. There you go. So we can keep everything in the screen, in the box. All right. Pendleton. Oh, that's foul back. Souvenir for a lucky fan. That's a strikeout. So good, and blows one by him. Rings up Pendleton, and it's Ford. Ernie Ford. Curtis Ernie Ford for 21. That's a fly ball left field. Over is McReynolds and makes the catch. 2 out. Pena, 16, and that's chopped to short. Scoop by Santana, rifles it to first in time. 3 up, 3 down. Okay. Mathews is facing Mazzilli. It's a 33 off Mazzilli's card, and that's a 0. That's going to take us to the second column. And that's a deep drive. Deep drive to left field. Back goes the left fielder. Coleman to the track, to the wall, gone. Mazzilli puts the Mets up 1-0. 1, 2, 3, 4. I figured out that doing these lines gives me a lot more space to do other stuff, and writing in letters doesn't really work for me. So I've kind of developed a different system based on what I've seen other guys doing, and it works a lot better for me. So it's Johnson. Johnson at 53, and we're going to use a little chart that I have. It's a randomizer. So it's going to roll again. A 41 is a 21, and a 21. Where's my book? Let's see where the book is here. I don't know. All right, let's see if we can find the book. Got a lot of stuff, but no book. Okay, so we're gonna go old school charts because I don't find the new booklet. It's a little bit frustrating. I'm gonna check one more time before we go old school. And this is what old school looks like. That's old school. That's what that looks like. I do not find the book anywhere. Ah, there it is. Found it. Back to new school. Little booklet. There you go. All right. So I was having to break glass in case of emergency. So that was a 21 St. Louis. I'm going to say St. Louis is a one fielding team because they did win the division. So a 21 is going to be bases loaded. A 21 is a single down the right field line. Cut off by Ford, and Johnson is on at first. So he goes the opposite field and drives one down the right field line. And he's on at first with a single, nobody out. Santana. Pitch to Santana, and that's a 9. That's going to be a ground ball to the third baseman, up with it. Long throw to first, in time, going to second is Johnson. Now it's the pitcher, Gooden. 61, that's a fly ball right field. And the right fielder is a Ford. Let's see. Okay. Oh, there it is. All right. Ford is a 2. So let's look at the book again. A 2 to right field. With a runner on second. He may be able to advance if he's fast. Every so often you get that opportunity, and it's deep enough for him to advance. And over to third goes Johnson. So Gooden flies out. And now we get the top of the order for the Mets. Top of the order for the Mets is going to be Wilson. Wilson struck out in his first at bat. Here's the pitch to Wilson at 24. That's a fly ball. Shallow left. Racing in is Coleman. He's there, and that retires the side. But the Mets pick up 1 on 2 hits. They lead it 1-0. All right, so we're moving this over, bringing this in. And it's top, but no, it's the pitcher spot. Pitcher's going to be batting. It's a 45. That's a ball 4. So Gooden walks the pitcher, which is never a good thing. Next is Coleman. Vince Coleman, 21. That's popped up left side. Back goes Johnson. In comes McReynolds. McReynolds makes the catch. 1 away. Next is Smith, 41. That's chopped to short. And I don't remember, does he go to second on that for the force, or does he go to first on that? Let me see it. 28. He goes to first on that. There's one play advancing is Mathews to second. So it's 6-3, 2 outs. Tommy Herr, 42. That's ball 4. So Gooden loses him on a 3-2. A 3-2 pitch that's away. Clark, first and second. He's a power hitter. He's got a 1 at 11, a 1 at 66. So he's one to be feared. He's got a 0 at 33 and 22. So he's got all kinds of power. That's a 56. That's ball 4. So 3 walks in this innings by Doc Gooden, loading the bases. That's going to bring up Willie McGee. Willie McGee is a pretty good hitter. Switch hitter, batting lefty against Gooden. Here's the pitch. And a 32, that's chopped to second. Second baseman Bachman has to charge it over to first in time, and that retires the side. So the Cards leave the bases loaded. Failed to score. We go to the bottom of the third. Playing Apba Basic, one of my favorite games, my childhood game. So I still play this. I still enjoy it. Going back, revisiting my childhood, my adolescence, living in about a mile and a half from Shea Stadium in Queens, New York. Wally Backman, there's the pitch, 61. And that's a fly ball to right. Ford is there, squeezes it, 1 out. Hernandez, 15, that's line, base hit. Hernandez on with a single. Next is Gary Carter, 32, that's chopped to second. And Herr flips to Smith, throw to first, not in time. It's going to be 4-6, fielder's choice. Gary Carter's on at first. Ball took some time to get to the second baseman. And it's McReynolds. McReynolds lines it up the middle for a base hit. Carter's going to stop at second. 2-out single. First and second for the Mets, and it's Lee Mazzilli. Here's the pitch from lefty Mathews. Gregory Mathews from Harbor City, California. Here's the pitch. That's a 64, and that's ball 4. Bases are loaded. Right back at you come the Mets. The Cards had the bases loaded with 2 outs, and now the Mets have the bases loaded 2 outs. And what is a 1-0 Met lead? The Mets lead the Cardinals by 2.5 games. So they can extend their lead by getting ahead in this series. So we're going to play all 3 games online in this series. This is a big game. A division contender. 2 division contenders. That's a ball. Oh, 14 is ball 4. 13 is ball 4. And that's going to be an RBI. That forces in a run. And bases are still loaded. for Santana. Santana's not really a hitter, but we'll see what happens. Here's the pitch from Mathews, and that's a 25, and that's line, base hit. That's going to score 1 run. McReynolds, Mazzilli right after him. The third is Johnson, and a 2-run single, a 2-out 2-run single by the least likely of heroes is Ralph Santana. It's the pitcher now. Score is 4-0 Mets. Runners on first and third. Here's the pitch. It's chop. Comebacker to Mathews. Over to first, and that retires the side. But the Mets pick up 3 on 1, 2, 3 hits. The big hit coming off the bat of Rafael Santana. 2-out single with the bases loaded. Mets are up 4-0. We go to top of the fourth. This game is moving and grooving pretty quickly, so I like to see that. Terry Pendleton leading off the top of the fourth. That's a 35. That's a stow. 35 is a foul ball off Pendleton's bat. Let's get these into view. Next is 61, and that's chopped to short. Charging it is Santana. Fires to first in time to get Pendleton, who's hustling down the line. It's a fast runner, according to the Apba ratings. Here's Ford, and that's line center field, but right at Wilson. Catches it chest high. And it's Pena. Here's the pitch from Pena. That's a 53 and 18. We're going to roll on that randomizer. Randomizer 53 says 17. And a 17. Who we got out there? Mazzilli's terrible. So Mazzilli on a 17 is going to say single. And then an E9 off Mazzilli. He misplays it. And over to second is Pena. So it's a single and then an E9 on Mazzilli. It's going to be the pitcher Mathews up. And here's the pitch. It's a fly ball, shallow right field. Racing in is Mazzilli, and he gets there, and that retires the side. So it's no runs, 1 hit. We go to the bottom of the fourth. It's going to be Wilson leading it off. So the pitch to Wilson, that's a 22. That's line base hit to center. So Wilson leads off with a single. Next is Wally Backman, 15, and that's line base hit, and Wilson over to third. Back-to-back singles to start off the bottom of the fourth for the Mets. The Mets have some sort of offense, I'll tell you right now. Holy smokes. Keith Hernandez, first and third. Infield's going to have to come in for the Cardinals. And there goes Backman to throw down, and from Pena, not in time. So Backman steals second. Second and third. Going to intentionally walk Hernandez to load the bases. We got a roll. That's one of the Apba rules. Oh, it would have been an out. Gary Carter, infield in. Here's the pitch. It's a 44. That's line base hit. That's going to score 2 runs. In to score is Wilson, followed by Backman. 6-0 game. Over to third is Hernandez. It's a 2-run single for the catcher, Gary Carter. All right. First and third, infield is in. McReynolds, here's the pitch, a 53, a 17. 17, the right fielder's a 2 on first and third, a 17. And that's going to be a single to right, 1 run scores, other out at third, batter to second on throw to third. So here's a ball that drops in front of the right fielder, Ford. Ford picks it up and guns it to third base, and he is out at third base. Carter would have gone only to second on that because he's slow and he goes from station to station. So it's an RBI single for McReynolds. That's a 7-0. And Carter thought about going to third and changed his mind. And he stayed at anybody else would have thrown out, but he's slow and he goes station to station. That's my official rule. And it's Mazzilli now with runners on first and second, nobody out. And unfortunately, we're going to have to bring in a relief pitcher. It's going to force us to, and I hate doing that because that slows the rest of the game down a lot. but you don't have the choice sometimes. Let's see here. Phillies, New York. Let's see. Oh, boy. All right. We don't have the – I have to pull that up real quick here. Got 69. I don't know why I got 69. Let's get rid of 69. Haven't played that in a while. New York and Phillies. What was that? 87. So let's play the next series. All right, the Cardinals. Let's see who the Cardinals used. The first game was Danny Cox. I didn't use it. I didn't play that game. Second game. This may be the second game. Nope. Oh, it is the second game. All right, so they use Dolly, Bill Dolly, and Ricky Horton. So Dolly and Horton are in this game, pitching this game. We're going to get them in there. I want to limit how many pitching changes I make within reason because I've been having some issues inputting information. I have two Dollies. One is Bill and one is Ken. It's crazy. I guess they're two brothers. So Bill Dolly's going to come in here. Okay, and this is going to be Bill. And Bill is a DYZ. And he's going to face Mazzilli. So Mathews is out. And Mathews goes three innings. Wow. Did not pitch well. Gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hits. Got slammed. He walked 1 intentionally, 2, 3. 4 walks. Strikeouts. 1 strikeout. And 1 home run. All right. Here goes. Mazzilli's a switch hitter. And infield is first and second. So let's say 24. That's going to be a fly ball to left. Settling under it is Coleman. Next is Johnson, 1 out. The bottom of the 4th. Mets are up by a score of 7-0. 25, and that's going to be line drive, base hit. Carter's going to go to third and going to stop. Bases are loaded. Again for Santana, second time he comes up. And here's the pitch to Santana. It's a fly ball to right. Carter's going to hold on that, not going to score. Because I got him holding. He's a slow runner. He's slowing up. He's clogging up the bases. And now it's Doc Gooden. Dolly to Gooden. Here's the pitch. That's a 13, and that's a 23. What's that going to be with the bases loaded? Oh, boy. That's a crazy result. 23 is going to be ground ball. First baseman flips to the pitcher covering, and that retires the side. Not as crazy as I had thought. All right, the Mets pick up 3 more on 1, 2, 3, 4 hits, and they lead it by a score of 7-0. Here in the top of the 5th, it's going to be Coleman, Smith, and Her. All right, we're playing in 1987, game 75 of the season. St. Louis, who's 2.5 games behind the Mets here, about almost halfway through the season. Pitch to Coleman, that's line base hit. Coleman on with a single. Stepping in the box is Smith. Takes a pitch, and there goes Coleman. Throw down, not in time. Steals a base easily. Pitch to Smith, 65. That's popped up. With a runner on first, that pop is to the catcher. Throwing away the mask is Carter. Makes the easy grab by the fence. Tommy Herr. Here's the pitch at 25, and that's going to be, that's going to be some sort of an out with a runner on second. That's going to be grounded back to the pitcher, back to Gooden. Fields his position over to third. Goes Coleman. 2 outs. And Clark. Clark with a 43. It's a 29 with a runner on third. At 29 is another comebacker. Fielded by Gooden. Over to first. And that retires the side. So no runs, 1 hit. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Dolly's pitching for the Cardinals now against Wilson. Dolly's not a very good pitcher, so the Mets have a chance to really get some hits here, and that's lined to center by Wilson. Leadoff single. Next is Backman. Pitch to Backman. There goes Wilson. Throw down, not in time. Stolen base. And that's lined and caught by the second baseman. Don't think that's a double play here in this case with a runner on second like that. Oh, it is. It's lined to short, not to the second baseman. That's a 6-6-4. Double play. 2 out. And it's Hernandez. Here's the pitch from Dolly. 46, strike 3. Pretty easy inning. Mets pick up a hit, but don't score. 7-0 Mets. We go to the top of the 6th. Gooden on the mound for the Mets. He was out for 2 months on rehab from cocaine. What else? 80s. That's a pop-up. Santana, he's there. Makes the catch. Terry Pendleton, who's 0 for 2. And that's going to be lined. Center field single for Terry Pendleton. Frozen rope. And it's Ernie Ford, Snake Eyes. That's going to take us into the second row. And a second row line drive base hit. Going to third is Pendleton. First and third. Back-to-back singles here in the top of the 6th. Pena next. And it's a 52-27. Infield's halfway for the Mets. So it's a first and third, 27. That's a out at first. Runner on third is going to hold. 2 outs. And it's the pitcher spot. In the 6th, we're going to have to pinch hit. And who did the Mets use to pinch hit here? Aha. Who did the Cardinals, use? Okendo is there. Morris. John Morris. Let's see if I have John Morris in the house. There he is. John Morris. He's an extra, an XP or an XB, one of those. I can't remember what they call it. So Morris is going to come in. He's a lefty. Pinch hitter. All right, here's the pitch. Runners on second and third. It's a 42, and that's strike 3. And Gooden picks up his 3rd strikeout of the game. We got a new pitcher. Who do we say it was? It was going to be Horton, Ricky Horton. Ricky Horton is from Poughkeepsie, New York, upstate New York. He's going to come in. Going to be facing Carter, McReynolds, and Mazzilli. So Horton is the 3rd pitcher of the day for the Cardinals. Here's the pitch from Horton to Carter. He's a C pitcher. C. There's the pitch, and that's going to be ripped to second base. Scooped by Backman. Over to first. I'm sorry, scooped by the second baseman, Herr. Over to first. Lost my my thought there, my focus. Mets are up. McReynolds, 1 out, 5-4. That's way back, right field. McReynolds takes it the opposite field in the gap, and running it down is Ford. Nice catch by Ford. 2 outs. Lee Mazzilli. Lee Mazzilli today has got a home run. That's a 4-3. That's a comebacker to Horton. And that retires the side. Go to top of the 7th. Got to keep everything in my brain in order here. Not overdo it. I won't make too many changes. Just the necessary ones. Doc Gooden to Coleman. That's chopped to short. Santana. Throw to first in time. Just got Coleman by half a step. He can fly down the line. Ozzie Smith, another guy who can fly, and that's going to take us to the second column. And that's going to be a ground ball and base hit through the left side. Tommy Herr now. 7-0 Mets in the top of the 7th. Pitch to Herr. High and away. There goes Smith. Throw down. Not in time. Stolen base. Oh, that's foul back. A souvenir for Lucky Fan. Tommy Herr, 26. That's strike 3. Number 4 for Gooden. He seems to be getting stronger as the game progresses. Dwight Gooden, he's a B pitcher. That's a pretty good pitcher for a guy that was on rehab for 1/3 of the season. And it's Jack Clark, and that's popped up. Third baseman makes the catch, and that retires the side. 1 hit, no runs. Go to the bottom of the 7th. It's going to be Johnson, Santana. Johnson, Santana, and Gooden against Horton. Rick Horton. It's a ground ball, shortstop. That's Ozzie Smith. Long throw to first in time to beat Johnson here. Santana, 44, and that's line. Base hit. Single for Santana. 1 out single. And that's Santana's second hit of the game. He drove in 2 runs earlier. Dwight Gooden. Going to swing away. 7-0. That's a, let's see, a 12 with a run around first is a hard hit. Ground ball right at the shortstop. This is a tailor-made double play ball. 6, 4, 3, double play. Go to the top of the 8th. All right, top of the 8th. Gooden versus McGee, leading it off. Seven nothing Mets. The pitch, and that's ball 4. Oh no, that's strike 3. Oh, McGee is not one to walk very much. It's a free swinger. That's a 13. Look at that, a 13, a 13. Usually that's a walk. Holy smokes. Next is Pendleton. That's number 5 for Gooden. 31, and that's a ground ball and through the right side for a single for Pendleton. That's Pendleton's second hit. Ford is up next, the 24, and that's a fly ball to left. McReynolds settles under it, squeezes it, makes the catch. That's 2 outs with a run around first, top of the 8th. 23, and that's a fly ball popped high to right. Mazzilli. And that's all she wrote. We go to bottom of the 8th. This is a very easy game to play. Apba is an easy game to play. Very straightforward. This is I call this my my Cold War gaming. This really takes me back to another era. It's so simple. Just one roll for each batter. You know. Wilson leading it off against Horton. This is Horton's 3rd inning. 32, and that's chopped to second. Herr over to first, 1 up, 1 down. Next is Backman, and he flies out to center. That's Willie McGee. Easy out. And now it's Keith Hernandez. Lines 1. Base hit to right for Hernandez. That's Hernandez's second hit of the game. He's on at first for Carter. Pitch to Carter, and that's a 12. Can't remember what a 12 is. I'm forgetting that. 12 is going to be a chop to short. And he's going to go the short way, 6-4, and that's a fielder's choice. And we go top of the ninth. Last licks for the Cards. The Cards are going to fall to 3.5 games back, the Mets, after this. If the Mets can hold on, they're leading 7-0. You got a pinch hitter here. Second pinch hitter of the game. Horton went 3 innings. That's big. And the previous pitcher went 1-2 innings. So you're decent relieving by the Cards. Let's take a quick peek and see who's going to pinch hit for the Cards here. I already used Morris, and then I also used Jose Oquendo. Jose Oquendo is going to pinch hit. So this game means something because of how I'm using the replay system, the sim system. So all the teams are simmed. And the Mets are up by 2.5 games against the Cards, and they're facing the Cards here. So they're winning 7-0. So they'll go up 3.5 games halfway through the season. So they lost. They were second in their division in 1987 by 3 games. So Oquendo's going to come in. He's going to lead off the top of the ninth. Doc Gooden. Jose Oquendo. All right, here's the pitch from Gooden. He's going to try to go for the complete game, and that's look at that. He's got a shutout. He's an A pitcher here. It's going to be an easy out. So popped up left side. Third baseman, Johnson, he's there. 1 up, 1 down. Next is the leadoff batter, Coleman. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 hits allowed by Gooden. He's got a shutout here. 8-hit shutout going. And it's top of the order. It's Coleman. Here's the pitch to Coleman. 64, and that's going to be ball 4. And there goes Coleman. Throw down, not in time. Second stolen base for Coleman. Smith. Pitch to Smith, and that's fly ball right field. And I believe Coleman's going to tag up. Easy tag, going to third. Oh, actually, he's a 1 out there. I don't know that he tags up on a 1. Let's see. Runner on second, a 32. Yep, runner third. Easily, runner to third. All right, Tommy Herr, third place batter. 2 outs. Runner on third. 7-0 Mets. Pitch from Gooden, and that's going to be some sort of an out. With a runner on third and 8 against an A pitcher. He's an A now. And, oh, no, that's a ground ball. And by the outstretched glove of Santana into left field. RBI single, and that's it for the shutout. Clark next, 35, and that's a 37. And that's going to, I think, is going to be a pickoff. They pick off Herr, who fell asleep at first base. And I believe that's what it is. And it is. Caught napping at first. He's going to have to hear it from his manager, and that's the ball game. So the Cards pick up a run on 1 hit and a walk in the 9th inning. Mets win it by a score of 7-1. And Mets had how many hits? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 hits. Mets offense was on. Cardinals had, I believe, 9 hits and no errors. Mets had, so line score was Cards 1 run, 9 hits, no errors. Mets 7 runs, 14 hits, 1 error. And that's it for our presentation of our 87 Mets. The Mets are now 3.5 games over the ahead of the Cardinals, thanks to this victory. And this is your home for tutorials and strategy and player profiles and history and reviews and news, tips, tops, baseball cards, rants, unboxings, and so much more. And thanks for stopping by and watching us. And I hope you enjoyed Apba Basic. And I will see you guys soon. Stay safe and stay calm. We'll get over this just keep on rolling. Take care.